And we are back. Welcome back to the knockout stages now of the Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations. We had two games to cover yesterday and we got both of them correct. We didn't get the exact score, but we got the result in both games. And now we find ourselves in the knockout stages of both the Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations. So we have 4 matches to talk about today, 2 from each tournament, and that is going to continue to be the trend until the end of the round of 16. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the predictions we have got coming up over the next few days. Because like I say, we're going to be doing this every single morning. And also, don't forget to check out my FA Cup predictions for the final 2 days of FA Cup action. That video will already be live by the time you're watching this one. So make sure if you haven't watched that already, to watch that once you finish watching this one. And let's just get straight into it because we have, as I say, got 4 games to discuss for you today. We'll start off, as always, in the Asian Cup because those games tend to come before the African Cup of Nations in terms of the overall day. And we'll start off with Australia taking on Indonesia. Probably of all 4 fixtures taking place today, probably the easiest one to call. Australia, just on paper, are a much better team than Indonesia. Indonesia scraped through into this knockout stages, whereas Australia got through fairly comfortably. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. I'm just going to go for a 3-0 win to Australia. Next up is a slightly more interesting one. It is Tajikistan taking on UAE. Now, both of these sides have done well so far in this tournament. Tajikistan did very well to get themselves into the knockout stages. They picked their moment to strike and they took it against Lebanon. However, it was against the Lebanon side that had already taken the lead and then got a player sent off. And outside of that, Tajikistan had not really done very well in this tournament. I don't think they'd even scored outside of that. As for the UAE, though, they have played pretty well so far, have picked up some good results against some other good nations. And going into this game against Tajikistan, I would say UAE are probably the favourites. They're also higher ranked in the FIFA rankings. But like I say, neither of these sides have scored many goals so far in this tournament. It's mainly been their defensives that have got them through to this stage so far. So I could definitely see this one going late. I could see it being a 0-0 or a 1-1 going into extra time and penalties. However, I am going to edge it in favour of the UAE. And I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to the United Arab Emirates. That will do it for the Asian Cup. Now let's move over to the African Cup of Nations, where, like I said yesterday, there were 2 games that we were able to predict the result of correctly, just not quite the correct scores. And we start off with the Battle of the Guineas. It is Equatorial Guinea against just outright Guinea. And again, on paper, I would say that Guinea, just standard Guinea, the team on the right-hand side of this prediction, should be considered the favourites for this one. However, from what I've seen of both of these sides so far in this tournament, I think Equatorial Guinea are the team to beat in this one. They have been absolutely fantastic, picked up some big results against some big nations and knocked some big nations out of this tournament already before we even get into the knockout stages. And like I say, Guinea have not quite been at the level you would expect for them, considering how well they've played recently. However, it still looks like Girassi is going to be unavailable. So, real chance for Equatorial Guinea to win this one. I'm going to back them to do it, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Equatorial Guinea to see them into the quarterfinals. Finally then, it is Egypt taking on the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mo Salah probably not in attendance this time, as he's probably still recovering in Liverpool from that hamstring injury and the news that Jurgen Klopp will be leaving at the end of the season. Both of these sides have massively underperformed. I don't care what anyone says. So far in this tournament, Egypt and Congo have both massively underperformed, in my opinion. Both sides should have probably won all 3 games that they were involved in, and both of these sides ended up drawing all 3 of those games. So you go into a game like this with 2 sides that have both drawn all 3 of their group games, and how can I predict anything else other than a draw in this match and it going all the way to extra time and probably all the way to penalties? I'm going to go for 2-2 because Egypt have quite literally drawn all 3 games 2-2 so far, and I think, is it 2 of Congo's games have been 2-2 as well? So it's the only realistic result I can go for. Who do I think is then going to win it in extra time or penalties? I would probably lean in favour of Egypt. They performed well enough without Salah in their last game, so they should, on paper, just about be the stronger side tonight. But I don't know. I think this could be absolutely anything. This could probably be a 3-3 or a 4-4 and still go to extra time and penalties. I would say if you're going to back a team to go through from tonight's game, I would go for Egypt, but genuinely this is a near impossible prediction to make as things stand right now. But that is going to be it for my 4 predictions for the Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations today. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments section below. Make sure, as I said, that you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of these remaining predictions over the next few days. Thank you very much for watching once again. I will see you very, very soon.